Hello, my name is Adam Garland. I am the town manager here in Oxford. In this video, we're going to be going over the fire and EMS budget that's being proposed at this coming town meeting. Town meeting is on Saturday, June 3rd at 10 a.m. at 79 Pleasant Street. Again, that's the school located behind the old town office on Pleasant Street. So Saturday, June 3rd, 10 a.m. So again, we'll be going over the fire and EMS budget in this video. I would encourage you to take a look at the town report. You'll find good information in there for the upcoming town meeting, copy of the town meeting warrant, as well as some other supporting documentation that can be found on our website. It can also be found at the town office or at the town meeting. We also have this reference material that we put together. We're going to be referencing this during this video as well. This is just a little reference guide that we've put together. It has each of the warrant articles listed along with their associated budget sheets and maybe some comments about the warrant article itself, just to help with the clarity as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a screen share so we can be looking at the fire and EMS budget together. So I'm going to start at the end of the budget and go over the totals like I normally do. There are two different totals for the fire and EMS budget. So I'm going to go over what these totals are first, and then I'm going to give you an explanation as to why there are some differences here. So the first one is the Board of Selectmen's recommended increase for the fire EMS budget is $102,996. That brings the total selectmen recommended fire EMS budget of $946,253. Posted the budget committee, their recommended increase to the fire EMS budget is $134,265 for a total fire and EMS budget of $977,522. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll up to the top, or the beginning, I should say, of the fire EMS budget. And let's go ahead and talk about what these changes are, why there are two different amounts, and some of these other items. So again, the fire rescue, they are addressed in warrant article number 8 on the town meeting warrant. So before I get into the meat and potatoes of what the changes are and what we're looking at here, I want to explain why there are some differences. So the fire chief this year, he brought forward a proposal to increase the fire coverage for the weekend. So what the fire chief was looking to do is he wants to add shift coverage, 12 hours of coverage on Saturday and 12 hours of coverage on Sunday. So that way during the day on both of those weekend days, that there would be firefighters on call, at the fire station, per diem firefighters providing fire coverage. Currently, what the fire department does is we have staffed Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. two firefighters who are per diems, who are on staff Monday through Friday, 6 to 6 each day. What that means is they are stationed at the fire station, they respond to fire calls, and they provide backup assistance to our EMS services. Of course, we also have our per diem, which per diem just means part-time, per diem ambulance workers or rescue personnel, and they are working from the station 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So the per diem EMS workers work 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. and that is 7 days a week. So what we're running into, what the fire chief explained, is sometimes it is difficult in the off hours to get enough fire personnel to respond to help with emergency scenes, fire scenes. So he has proposed that on Saturday and Sunday that we add additional fire personnel for Saturday and then Sunday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. What that would mean is that we would bring on 2 per diem individuals that would be able to sign up for Saturday shifts, because it's 2 at a time. So it'd be 2 firefighters would sign up for Saturday, 2 firefighters would sign up for Sunday and provide that station coverage. So with that thought in mind, I'm going to go back to the budget sheets again. And where the difference comes in as far as for the selectmen and budget committee totals, is that the selectmen were supportive of the idea. Well, both the selectmen and the budget committee were supportive of the idea of adding additional coverage. The selectmen, on the other hand, they just felt that a more moderate approach should be taken to really look at and study for the year to make sure that the amount of coverage was actually needed. And so the selectmen supported adding one additional day of coverage, which would be 2 additional firefighters on the weekend. So 2 firefighters would work either Saturday or Sunday for their 12-hour shift, and they would provide that additional fire coverage that the fire chief is looking for. The budget committee, on the other hand, felt that they wanted to go with what the fire chief was proposing, and that was to provide the additional coverage on both weekend days, Saturday and Sunday. So what I've done here is I've tried to break it down in a nutshell that the Board of Selectmen weekend coverage, which is 1 weekend day for the year with an average of $21 an hour, is a total of $31,269. You can see that that is the amount that is used in the budget sheet right here, the $31,269. And then on the other hand, the budget committee recommended weekend coverage on both Saturday and Sunday, which is a total of $62,538. So to keep it simple, this has been kept separate as its own line item. If this passes at whatever level that if this passes at town meeting, it will, after town meeting, just be incorporated into the regular payroll line. We wanted to make it very, very clear to those at town meeting and looking at these documents how much this additional weekend coverage would cost. So if you go back down to the beginning where we started here with those 2 separate totals for the Fire-EMS budget, the selectmen's amount includes this $31,269. Whereas the budget committee amount includes the $62,538. So that's why there's the 2 different amounts. Selectmen are approving or supporting 1 additional day. The budget committee is supporting 2 additional days. And when you look at the warrant itself, you will see, and I've got this here just for reference sake, Article number 8. To see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $977,522 for the fire rescue department. You'll note that here's the selectmen's amount at $946,253 and the budget committee amount at $977,522. The selectmen were agreeable to putting the higher amount within the warrant article. That way town meeting has the ability to vote on either one, whichever one that they feel is most appropriate for the town moving forward. As I'm sure that folks are aware, when the amount is in the warrant article, you cannot vote the amount higher. You can only either vote to approve the amount shown or decrease it if that's what's seen as appropriate. So we went ahead and put both of those amounts on here so it's clear for folks to be able to see. So in the event that you are wondering how much, if you didn't approve any additional hours for the Fire-EMS, if we maintain coverage exactly where it is today, which is what I explained earlier, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., firefighter coverage during the day, and then 24/7 of the EMS coverage, the budget would be at $914,984. So sliding over here, that would be $914,984, which is of course less than either of these recommendations because they've, as we've discussed, contemplated adding the extra coverage. And what I was just looking at here is, by the way, a page out of that town meeting reference material book that I made reference to earlier. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get started on going through the budget here so that we can get through this together. So your regular payroll, this is excluding the additional hours we were just talking about. Your regular payroll sees an increase of $39,359, bringing the regular payroll line to $606,306. This includes everything broken down in here. This includes the full-time fire chief's payroll, the stipends, fire police, and so forth, as you see here. And much of it is based on a $21 per diem average rate. Here is the new line that we just mentioned a moment ago, and this is the breakdown of the additional weekend coverage, as we've already discussed. This does include your Social Security, Medicare, and so forth in here as well. So when we scroll down to Social Security, it's based on payroll. It sees an increase of $24.40 for the year, bringing the total of $37,591. Medicare is also based on payroll, sees an increase of $571, bringing the total to $8,791. Health insurance is only offered to full-time employees. In this case, that means, which is the fire chief in this department, sees an increase of $3,016, bringing the total to $79.56. Oops. Here we go. I got ahead of myself there. All right, and then we have retirement, which we have one enrolled, which is a total of a $661 increase, bringing the total to $55.40. We also have workers' compensation, which is based on payroll above, which is an increase of $7,695, bringing the workers' comp total to $70,695. Moving to the next page, we have rescue communications, which is renamed communications. This is for your Spillman licensing for the vehicles and so forth, the 6 vehicles and 1 cell phone. And that is a total of $46.56, and that remains the same as last year. We also have office supplies, which sees an increase of $3,200, bringing it up to $5,200 even. And one of the reasons for this increase is that we did a little better job, as I mentioned in other lines too, of breaking down the individual costs to ensure that we had enough, or that we're raising enough money in order to pay everything, but also doing it accurately. This is your printer and copier leases, IT services and other items, and then general office supplies. Postage remains the same at $50. Equipment supply sees an increase of $4,000, bringing it up to $28,500. This is for general equipment replacement of hoses, nozzles, SCBA masks, things that are damaged while in the course of performing their duties. This is not part of the capital replacements for turnout gear and bottles and so forth. This is for things that are destroyed, say on a fire call, if their turnout gear were to get ripped, or if a helmet were to get broken, or things of that nature. Clothing remains the same at $4,000. That's your uniforms and so forth. Immunizations and physicals remains the same at $3,500. And these are OSHA, Maine EMS required vaccines and so forth that are all listed here that staff is mandated to have. Rescue billing remains the same at $15,000. And the town does contract out through medical reimbursement services for our rescue billing. We do not do that in-house. Medical supplies sees a $1,000 increase up to $16,000. This is the EMS supplies, as you would expect, what's on the rescue trucks, the EMS rigs. Just like everything else, unfortunately, we are seeing, as I noted in here, the company that we use to get our supplies from is expecting a 5 to 10% increase over the next while here for all those EMS supplies. Gasoline sees a decrease of $199, bringing it down to $3,728. That's based on a $4 per gallon projection for the year and 932 gallons per year. Diesel, we are looking at an $8,021 increase, bringing it to $20,033. One of the things that we are doing different this year, as at first we were looking at a much larger increase in the diesel cost, but one of the things that we're doing different this year is that the highway department purchases diesel in bulk for the $4.23 a gallon from the provider. And we are able to avoid having to pay tax and other charges by doing that. We've now got it set up so that the fire department can take all the diesel trucks over to the highway department and pump from the highway department pumps. This saves us a significant amount of money from going to local, frankly, gas diesel stations to get our fuel. It's set up quite simply, so there's a logbook there, so that if it is a fire vehicle getting fuel, they can note on there which vehicle it is, versus if it's a highway vehicle getting fuel, so then the fuel can be charged to the correct department. So community events, that remains the same at $500. Going down to membership dues, that sees a reduction of $279, bringing it down to $24.01. Membership dues, as it notes here, is different online subscriptions and so forth to the Maine fire chiefs and international fire chiefs and so forth. Those are really good resources for the fire department that they're able to enroll in. The training conferences is reduced by $1,000, bringing it to $4,000 even. This is for the professional development certifications and other types of trainings for the individuals as well. Scrolling down, you have professional services, sees an increase of $4,741, bringing the total line to $17,036. This is a pretty big mouthful here in the description, but what you're seeing here is these are a lot of the softwares that we have to use for tracking everything from hours to fire reports to EMS reports. It's an amazing amount of things that the fire EMS service has to track. So this pays the annual subscription for a lot of those. It also pays for, we're paying out of here, the annual hose testing, which is based on how many feet of hose you have, and it is mandatory that you have hose testing done as well. This also includes some of those the pieces of equipment that you see on the rescue trucks, the striker, the stair chair, stretcher annual certifications, the life pack annual certifications, and so forth. So a lot of these costs are dictated throughout, but then it also includes, unfortunately, whenever you need anything done for any of these pieces of equipment, it takes specialized folks to do it. And with all of that being said and totaled up, that's where we're coming up with our $47.41 increase, bringing us to $17,036. Going down to equipment maintenance. This is preventative maintenance for all fire and EMS equipment. Sees an increase of $1,000, bringing us to $14,000 even. Scrolling down. Then we have vehicle maintenance. This is for the fire trucks and rescue trucks. Both remains the same at $35,000. And then lastly, we have radio maintenance, which remains the same at $4,500. That's maintenance for portable and mobile radios, meaning portable, meaning the ones that they wear, the mobile radios, meaning the ones in the vehicles. So again, just a quick recap. Board of Selectmen are recommending the addition of 1 day of extra coverage for per diem firefighters, which would bring the total to $946,253. For a total increase of $102,996. The Budget Committee is recommending the addition of 2 extra weekend days worth of coverage, bringing the total for the fire EMS budget to $977,522 for a total increase of $134,265. And as a quick side note, as I mentioned before, if the town decided it did not want to increase didn't want to increase coverage at all, the fire EMS budget would be at $914,984. That amount would keep services exactly where they are now without the additional personnel on the weekends. So I know I just threw a lot at you, and I hope this was helpful. I hope this helps you make an informed decision at town meeting. As a reminder, town meeting, June 3rd, 10 a.m. I hope to see you there. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me anytime. And also, the selectmen are available to answer questions as well. Thank you very much for joining me. Have a good day.